commends the IEBC for the selection and training of poll officials. We also commend the IEBC for involving young people, and for that young women, in the management of the electoral processes. My deputy was very keen on seeing if the women are involved, and she was very happy to see many young ladies involved in the process. There was a time I asked her, but you are a mother, you also have girl child and boy child, but why are you not keen on seeing boys there? But it is a reality that you have to, and gender mainstreaming, you have to care about the place of women, because they are disadvantaged. The mission commends the IEBC on the successful use of technology in voter registration, voter identification, and transmission of results. It has improved efficiency and increased transparency of the election process in Kenya. At least those who have been here in the last election are testifying to that. However, there were instances of challenges in the identification of voters using the KIMS kit. We recommend that the problems relating to KIMS kit should be identified and the necessary corrective measures be taken for better performance in future elections. The mission was pleased to observe that agents of political parties and candidates were present at polling stations and were not encumbered in performing their duties. However, it was a bit concerning that it was only the two major political parties, political alliances, that were able to deploy agents. Also, it was intriguing to note the presence of many agents of independent candidates. You know, I think there was one polling station, I think the representatives of the mainstream parties were only two. 6 of them were, which party? Independent. Which one? Independent. Which one? Independent. So I says, it appears there are many independent candidates. It's good for democracy. But there is a story behind it. And we are going to take up that matter in the main report for observation. It appears something happened in the primaries in the political parties. And those who were dissatisfied just decided to become independent candidates. In all polling stations observed, agents of political parties and independent candidates signed the results form, declaration form, and they were given copies. Overall, the mission was pleased to note that generally protocols and procedures for opening and closure of polling were observed. With regards to the layout of polling stations, it is the opinion of East African community observers that party agents were placed too far from the polling official who is identifying the voters. For purposes of enhancing checks and balances in future elections, the IEB should consider placing party agents close to that official to ascertain the authenticity of voters. Because if these party agents, in fact, in the arrangement, the party agents would be where the observers are supposed to be. The only thing they would see is how these people drop the ballots in the boxes. But I think the most critical part for them is at the point where voters are coming in, to ascertain that is this a bona fide voter or not. So if everything is safe, fine. But this is something that we thought was noticeable for us. The mission noted with concern complaints made by young people that the political parties did not provide them adequate space and opportunity for them to participate as candidates in the elections. We met some young people here. They are so vocal, complaining. They are making demands on us. Sometimes they tell us, you are too young, please, just wait. That's right. Even getting the opportunity to try. So it says a hard sell. We consider this a serious matter. Either it's a matter of omission or commission, which needs attention and resolute action. Young people are the future of this country. In the same vein, we call upon the political actors and the government of Kenya to ensure that the 2/3 gender rule is observed to the letter and spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, over and above all that I've mentioned, the East African Community Election Observation Mission would like to appeal to all political actors and stakeholders in Kenya, including the great people of Kenya, to continue to maintain peace after the results of the elections are declared. We implore all of you to embrace peaceful resolution of disputes that may arise from the electoral processes. Fortunately, there is the opportunity to use the courts of law, so please make use of that avenue. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, the East African Community Election Observation Mission is satisfied that the way the 2022 Kenyan general election was conducted, on polling day, the people of Kenya were given the opportunity to elect leaders of their choice freely. We hope the subsequent processes will respect, uphold, and reflect the will of the people of Kenya in the 2022 general elections. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Another round of applause. That wasn't enough. So next, we'll have the presentation from Intergovernmental Authority on Development by His Excellency President Mulatu Teshome. Welcome.
issued to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, which is chaired by Wafula Chebukati. And it will be issuing a presser here, just behind me, the podium that the media has been given here or accorded at the Bomas of Kenya. Before I give you a highlight of what's happening here at the National Tallying Center, just a recap of what President Kikwete pointed out as to the significance aspects that the IEBC needs to sort out in the subsequent electoral process. He said that the East African Community Mission that he leads observed in some instances lateness in terms of opening some polling stations across the country, and also underscored the importance and the significant role young people will play in the future of this country and deepen the country's democratic credentials among the community of nations. He implored the stakeholders who also helped the IEBC in putting up together the electoral process. He cited the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government that's led by Dr. Fred Matiang'i, ICTCS Joe Mushero, who he said had laid the foundation, and also spoke at length about the President of the Supreme Court, in this case Lady Justice Martha Koome, who said all played along other stakeholders proper roles that helped the IEBC put in place the mechanisms that the Commission had adopted in putting in place the election which happened on the 9th on Tuesday across the country. He also implored the IEBC on the use of the digital voter register, which was a priority that the IEBC said will be put in place, and as it assured Kenyans, which happened across many polling stations in the country, and that's largely out of the 46,229 polling stations across the country. On Tuesday, however, the Commission pointed out that only some 200 KIMS kits had malfunctioned, and in their place the Commission had used manual voter register, and cited the cases in the counties of Kakamega and in Makueni counties where it said voters had voted using the manual voter register. And you have to understand, and this is to our viewers at home, that the significance that is bared under Section 44 of the Elections Act, which calls for digital electoral voter register that is backed up by a manual voter register, in this case interpretation, which is a complementary mechanism and which was much sought after by the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition political party and the Kenya Kwanza Alliance that's led by the Deputy President, calling for a complete use of the digital voter register. And then the High Court ruling, which last week came on the use of the manual voter register. And in a nutshell, that is just the report observation that was rather read by the former Tanzanian President Kikwete, who called upon the IEBC to further come up with processes to further ensure that some of the hitches and the glitches that were witnessed across the country will be addressed in the subsequent electoral process coming. Of course, this is a cycle that is constitutional, that comes after every 5 years, a tenure of all those who hold elective offices that expires on the 8th of August after every 5 years, and Kenyans given the opportunity to vote for the leadership that they want and the sovereignty they delegate to the crop of leadership who exercise that power over them, since we are constitutional democracy. And going forward, you're waiting for further reports from other observers, including the European Union and the whole host of others who are here to observe the electoral process. And so far, the President of Tanzania, that is former Kikwete, had given a thumbs up to the IEBC. Now here at the Bomas of Kenya this morning, it's an activity-less National Tallying Center where the IEBC in a short while will be addressing, and Wafula Chebukati will be taking to the lectern as the country holds its breath as to what next, what happens. So this is what's happening here so far. Out of the 46,000, this is just the giant screen on my left, out of the 46,229 polling stations, so far 46,142 have relayed their Form 34As online, which then means that some counties out of the 47 had relayed 100% of such across the polling centers. For example, you have Baringo County, which is now at 99.9%. Bomet County reported 100%. Bungoma County 100%. Busia County 100%. Diaspora 27 out of 27, 100%. Elgeyo Marakwet County 100%. And you have Embu 100%. You have Garissa County 99.46%. Homa Bay County 100%. Isiolo County 100%. Kajiado County 100%. Kakamega County reported 99.82. Out of the 1,682, 85, they have reported 1,682. Only 3 more polling centers, and it will be a done deal. Then in general, the general percentage is then therefore 99.81%, and that's what's happening here at the Bomas of Kenya. So far, we have been able to witness the presence of the agents of the presidential candidates. And here I managed to spot the chief agent of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Political Party presidential flag bearer, Seitabao Ole Kanchori, who is deputized by the Nyeri County Deputy Governor Dr. Caroline Karogo, is also here with him, and also Odinga's lawyer Paul Mwangi and other stakeholders of the Azimio camp, including business camp politician from the county of Mombasa, Suleiman Shahbal. We also have on the other end the Azimio, the Kenya Kwanza faction of the political divide, and the United Democratic Alliance, to be specific, where we have witnessed the presence of the Secretary General of the party, Veronica Maina, who is also deputized by Turkana County Governor Joseph Fatandok. The chief agent for Ruto, however, is Professor Kindiki Kithure, the senator, who I haven't managed to spot here. But other stakeholders of political parties are present here. The IEBC at the center circle just beneath me on the podium where I am stepping on has managed to put up in place the tables where the forms will be verified, as yesterday issued in the press by Wafula Chebukati, the chairperson of the commission. What then happens in a nutshell in a given table is that the 4 presidential candidates' agents will be seated. Then the returning officer comes with the physical form 34A, and then you have the IEBC staff on his opposite end on the table. They verify, they tally the number, and then that form is taken to the coordination desk just beneath the podium where Wafula Chebukati will be standing, and where they will do the security check to ensure this is the original form that the printer had printed for the IEBC. This is the procured company by the poll commission. Then the returning officer physically presents that physical form 34A to the national chairperson of the commission, who is the presidential returning officer, and then he is able to leave the podium. That will be happening for all the returning officers who will be here, and we expect activity-less day here at the Bomas of Kenya, where the IEBC will be issuing a presser as to the incidents that have happened across the country, the reporting so far of the transmissions done by returning officers across constituencies in the country, and afterwards we'll be able to unpack the statement by the IEBC for our viewers, as all eyes are now set here on the Bomas of Kenya, because this will be the nerve center where the next president of the Republic of Kenya will be announced. This is a commission, the IEBC, which is treading very, very careful, and it is in relation to the order by the Supreme Court, which determined and ruled that the commission had committed illegalities and irregularities, and that the electoral process isn't an event, it is a process, and therefore sealing all the loopholes that the IEBC said it has embarked on ever since the ruling that was issued by the Supreme Court bench, which was led by the Chief Justice, former Emeritus David Kinani Maraga, who nullified President Uhuru Kenyatta's re-election on the 1st of September 2017. Therefore, more updates will be coming for viewers, Rashid and Lulu, from here at the Bomas of Kenya, where we'll be able to highlight some of the statements that the IEBC will be issuing. And of utmost significance is the Kenyan people who have voted, exercised their democratic right, and are waiting for the outcome of the election. And we'll be able to give them the synthesized information that will be coming here, and we relay the same to them as and when that happens. Back to you in the studio, Rashid and Lulu.